this week that you hadn't thought about whether you would vote for President Biden this time, which a lot of us thought was a little bit difficult to believe. But how much may that have to do with the idea that you didn't get what you thought you were going to get in exchange for your vote on the Inflation Reduction Act? You said this week, instead of embracing the all-of-the-above energy bill that was signed into law, this administration has once again decided to put their radical political agenda over American energy security, and the American people will pay the price. You've said the administration has broken the law. You've said that they've lied to the American people. Did they lie to you?
Well, they're trying everything they can to basically implement a piece of legislation they never passed. And they've been taken to court twice. We got the Mountain Valley Pipeline, and now the leasing in the Gulf. And I will quote you what my Republican colleagues have said about the Inflation Reduction Act in their brief supporting the oil companies who basically sued this administration for taking 6 million acres off the ability to lease, which is not the way the bill. They said this, the IRA is a balanced, diverse, complex, and overlapping considerations, including growth and conservation, domestic needs and global positioning, and security and diplomacy. This is my Republican. These are the energy leaders of both the House and the Senate. Understand it's a balanced bill. And we're producing more energy today than we ever have. More oil, 4.6 billion barrels this year. More gas, natural gas, 37 trillion cubic feet. We've never done that before. And we're producing more LNG to help our friends and allies overseas.
But are you getting what you thought you were going to get when it comes to electric vehicles and battery production and bringing manufacturing back to the U.S.?
Not as quickly as it's supposed to be. They're basically breaking every bond in that bill. That bill was very explicit in what we had to do in order to bring manufacturing back and not be reliant on foreign energy supplies, such as China. And they're trying to put more vehicles out than basically what the market will digest right now or want. And it's wrong. It's a bad energy policy. We're trying to keep the guardrails on. Here's the thing. They cannot do what they want to do because the bill prohibits. You can't just go with all renewables if you're not producing the energy the country needs. We're producing it cleaner than anywhere in the world. Why can't we walk and chew gum at the same time?
Well, we'll leave it to you to sort out with the administration. If they live up to what you thought you were getting in exchange there, that vote has probably hurt you, I think fair to say, in West Virginia. Should you choose to run again, there are conversations about how much that will impact things. There's one outlet that has said it's driven up your disapproval numbers to the point that you're one of the most unpopular senators in America. Not sure how that factors into you.
Well, I don't think that's quite accurate.
I think you're very likable. whether people want to go vote for you in West Virginia, still we got to have that conversation.
The people in West Virginia are seeing all of the rewards from that piece of legislation with the new investments coming. We have Berkshire Hathaway coming in. We have basically Forum Energy. We're going to be building battery storage at 1,000 megawatts, things that we've never had a diversification. Plus, we're producing more coal than we ever have, better and cleaner anywhere in the world. We're producing, basically with MVP, 2 billion cubic feet more will go into the pipeline, helping the people in the Northeast. Everything that we're doing, and basically this bill is a balanced bill that's given us opportunities we have never had before.
Okay. Well,
so people just have, basically, people have been demonizing it. But when my own Republican colleagues come out and say, this is a balanced piece of legislation that is good for America. They've said that in their brief, and they won. They won in courts.
So we'll see whether you take this to the West Virginia voters or whether you take it to a third-party run. We've had these conversations. Here's what former Obama campaign manager Jim Messina said this week, talking about these third-party runs.
You and I remember in 2000 in Florida where Ralph Nader gave the presidency to George Bush. So Democrats have that history, and they're going to understand that a vote for these third parties is a vote for Donald Trump, I hope.
You've said you will not do this as a spoiler. That is not the goal that you have.
I think Jim really forgot that basically it was Ross Perot that elected Bill Clinton. So if he wants to look at it that way, the evaluation, why not have options? People aren't satisfied right now. Why not have options?
A lot of people like you as an option. And you've said once you make a decision, a target will be on your back, so you're waiting till the right time. But the fact is the calendar is now going to start working against you. What is the timeline? Do you have any announcements to make this morning?
Not this morning, but let me just say this. I'll do it. I'm more concerned about the country right now. What you've seen, the theatrics that played out yesterday and up until yesterday, it's ridiculous.
But could a President Manchin fix that?
Well, the bottom line is you have to work in a bipartisan way. Democracy is still an experiment. It was never intended for an autocracy or one side to rule. You have to work together. Kevin McCarthy, I praise Kevin McCarthy for what he did yesterday. He finally realized you can't reason with unreasonable people, with the extremes. I hope the people where these people are represented, I hope their constituents finally say enough is enough. We want people that at least keep our government running and moving in the right direction. We can do that. And I think, yes, I can bring it together. That's all I've ever done. But there's other people, not just me. There's a lot of people that are basically in the center left, center right. That's how it's worked. And you saw that happen yesterday to move forward, to keep the country, to
I
keep
know
the
you
government
don't see
open.
President Trump in that place. Do you see President Biden in that place?
Well, he used to be.
So if you don't think either one of them are there, are you the alternative?
Well, we're hoping maybe they'll come back to rationale thinking that, hey, it doesn't work pushing everything to the extremes. This country does not run on the fringes. It never has. And it can't start now. So they're either going to come back or we're going to bring it back.
What's your timeline?
Well, I said before the end of the year, I will. We're still planning. I mean, if something what you're saying would happen, there is no primaries. You just go right into the foray.
But West Virginia seems well underway, at least on the GOP side.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch. I mean, it's very entertaining as far as me watching. And these people, I know everybody, so we'll see what happens there. The people don't look at me as that's Joe Manchin, the Democrat, or that's so-and-so, the Republican. They never, it's just Joe Manchin. He's going to be very independent in how he's always voted for 40-some years representing the people of West Virginia. And I've done everything I can in my power to make sure that they've got the best representation they can in a balanced way.
Okay.
I've said this, Shannon, if I can go home and explain it, I can vote for it. If I can't explain it to my friends and colleagues in West Virginia, I can't vote for it. You can put a gun to my head. I'm not going to vote for it.
We won't do that.
I know.
But we will pressure you to come back and give us an answer before the end of the year.
Happy to do that.
Senator, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Appreciate it.